Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. Today I want to talk about something that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot in the plant world, and that is plant pots. I lately have been on this plant pot kick where I just want to find the cutest, aesthetically pleasing, decorative pots that I possibly can. And I did struggle a bit at first to find ones that I really like, especially ones that are affordable. So I thought we could talk about it today, about places that you can find pots, unconventional things that you can turn into plant pots, and just show off my favorite plant pots in my collection, because I'm starting to grow a very nice, substantial collection of decorative pots, and I feel like most of them are really starting to create a theme of pots, and it's just really nice. So Saffron is gonna go sunbathe because I kind of disturbed her from that. And it's just the perfect time of day for the sun to be hitting her favorite spot to lay down. So I'll let her go do that and we'll talk about some plant pots. One of my favorite places to get plant pots is just going to be local garden centers. This is one of my favorite pots in my collection. I really like simple, solid color, maybe color blocked pots. This one is square too, which I think is really unique. You don't see a lot of square pots out there. I would like to get another one just because it fits these square plastic pots so nicely. This is from East Austin Succulents if you're local, so I would highly recommend checking them out. They have a really good plant pot selection, and I really like decorative pots because then it provides a little bit of extra drainage, humidity for the roots, and it can also just soak up more water in between watering, so I can go a little bit longer without having to water the plant again. I just really like this method. A lot of the pots you'll see in this video also have drainage holes, but my husband plugs them with silicone for me so that I can have this sort of cash pot situation. If you like growing in chunky mix with a drainage hole, go for it. A lot of them really do come with drainage holes or ones that you plug in if you want, which is really nice. It gives you the option as to whether or not you want it to have that drainage hole. I just have been really liking this method lately. It has encouraged a lot of root growth on especially my Hoya and Anthurium. So I will be doing it like this. So a lot of things you'll see are just in this sort of method. I don't typically put plants directly in the pot unless they're really big, like 6-8 inch plants or even bigger. So this is gonna be one of the local ones that I really like. I also got this pot at East Austin Succulents. I like this style where it just has a little base like this to sit. It adds a little something extra. It's a little decorative. It's fun. I don't think I show off this plant a lot either. This is my Hoya rigidifolia from Wild Roots Nursery. I love it. It's on this huge growth spurt right now. There's a whole new vine that it created. It's just such a fun little plant, but it also provides more drainage. I've had it in this pot for a long time. It's very humid in here. I don't see any roots coming out of the bottom. Oh, there's like a little one, very tiny, but it's just having a good time in this pot. Again, provides a lot of humidity, and I do also prefer solid colors or a tinted glass look because that will protect the roots from the lights in here. So I did really like growing in no drainage. I prefer it when I'm doing my props still, but unfortunately it does put some stress on the plant, I learned, because if the light is hitting the roots, it's just stressing the plant out. So I've been really trying to find more solid pots because a lot of the pots that I use, this one I just have never repotted it since I got it. It's actually in soil, which is very unlikely. But a lot of the pots I use are clear pots because I like to see the roots. I like to see how the plant is doing underneath it all, but it's not the best for the plant to be exposed to light where it should be underneath the soil. So that's why I've been moving lately toward more solid and tinted colors just to help the plant out a little bit. Another pot that I got locally is just this nice round one. This is from Tillery Street Plant Company, which shares a property space with East Austin Succulents, and it is in multiple sizes. I think I have this one in 2 of the sizes. I own 3 of it. I just love the color. I'm obsessed with the color. I love the shape. It doesn't perfectly fit a lot of the pots that I put in it, but it does a good enough job. I don't mind sometimes if a pot sticks out a little, just a little, not a lot. So I like it. I really like the look. It's very versatile. It also does not have a drainage hole at all. So I really like being able to switch plants in and out of it. This is my Hoya Matilde Splash, which is just growing really wonky. It keeps putting out these vines that I have been attaching to the trellis, but it's not giving me more leaves. So I don't know what's going on there. I think this was the last leaf it gave me. Hopefully I can get it to grow leaves again soon so that it fills out, but I appreciate that it looks kind of crazy right now. Now, local places to get pots, sometimes they're a little bit more pricey. So if you're looking for a slightly more economical option, especially for larger pots, like this one, I would recommend IKEA. This is actually one of their new designs. I really like it. It does come in 2 sizes. They were out of the larger size when I was there, so this is the smaller size. I believe it is a 6-inch, and I just up-potted my Monstera Thai Constellation, so it's doing fairly well in here. It is a little off balance. I think I just need to put a prop pin on the main root so that it stays in place, but I do think this is the perfect size pot for this plant. Again, it's just going to allow some drainage. This one does not come with a drainage hole. I feel like half the IKEA pots do, the other half don't. So you just gotta kind of go with the flow of what you see. And like I said, there are solutions. If you really want a drainage hole in a pot like this, you can always drill it. I don't like drainage holes in the decorative pots when they're small. So I have it like this. So this is one that I got at IKEA, comes in 2 sizes. And then I have another one from IKEA that also comes in 2 sizes. And that's this pot. I actually own both the small size and the larger size. This is the 4-inch, this is the small size. And then I have a Scindapsus in the 5 or 6-inch, which is the larger one. Same thing, no drainage hole. It's doing really well. They also have, I think I have in there, nice little small pots that are like $2 each. Those will fit 3-inch plants. I use them for my Hoyas a lot. So this is just a really nice little pot. I like the color blocking. It just adds a little bit of contrast, kind of like the pot behind this plant on the shelf over here. That one's actually from East Austin Succulents, but I just like a little bit of color, a little bit of difference in the pot sometimes, just to bring out a little something different, so that not every pot I have is one color, but I do like solid color pots. I think they're fun. Even if you might think they're boring, I really like them. I like the continuity of them, but sometimes I like a little bit of color blocking too. So this is my Lacanosa mint coin, which is obviously just a weed. This plant grows like crazy. It's been in this pot ever since I brought it home a year ago, and it is absolutely exploded with growth. So it's really happy in this type of situation. I don't know if, yeah, it does. It's starting to have some roots come out the bottom. They're gonna turn into water roots basically, just because it sits in water for a lot of the time, but I don't mind it. I think it works out really well, and I'm really loving this kind of potting situation. A couple of other places to get really affordable pots are obviously going to be the big box stores. Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. These are places that just are catch-alls for everything, especially Home Depot and Lowe's with giant garden sections. So it's gonna be pretty easy to find pots. For my houseplants, I'm pretty picky about pots, but I have been able to find some that work really well with some of my smaller Hoyas especially. I really love these tiny 3-inch pots. They are from Lowe's. They're currently $3.48, and they have no drainage hole. They work perfectly. I love putting like recently up-potted props in them. I love putting my smaller Hoyas in them. They're just the perfect size for these condiment cups too. Just slides right in. So that works really well just with my system of growing. I also have found a few smaller pots from Home Depot. That's where I got this one. I don't remember the price of it, but it also has a plug, so you can decide whether or not you want it to have drainage. It does fit the condiment cups in it pretty well also, so it's just a really nice little setup. Again, it's a terracotta color, but it's just adding something a little extra, a little bit more elevated than the basic terracotta pot that I got from Lowe's if you want something that's a little bit better. But I do love I do love a good terracotta pot with no drainage. I love that so much. I also have pots like the one that my anthurium is in right there that came from Target. Target is really surprising. I feel like when the pots first come out in the spring, sometimes they can be a little pricey. Sometimes there's good deals. Those were $5 each. Then they went on sale, so I actually got them for like $3.50. I got a couple of them. And at the end of the season, when they all go on sale, Walmart is the same way. You can get pots for $1, $2, $3 in really good sizes. So I highly recommend looking at those toward the end of the season. I do have a couple pots I got from Walmart. I don't shop at Walmart a lot, so I missed when it first went on clearance, and when I finally got there, it was almost completely wiped out, which is totally fine. I know a lot of people got good deals on Walmart pots this year, but they have some good designs too. I think whatever you can get, especially if it's affordable, it's really nice, and it's kind of lends to buying more of those pots in bulk. But that's gonna lead me to some unconventional plant pots. These are things that you might not necessarily see marketed as a plant pot, you might not think of as a plant pot, but I'm making them a plant pot anyway. The first is going to be dishes like this. I know some people use mugs. I know some people use different types of vases. I think I have a little vase type thing from Target that fits a plant pot pretty well. But this was in the Halloween collection at H-E-B. If you're not from Texas, that is basically our grocery store chain here. It's only in Texas, and it pretty much has a monopoly over the state for good reason. It's a pretty cool store. But I thought this was so cute. As somebody who loves cats, loves Halloween. I like the cute Halloween stuff. I was talking to my husband about this because people here really like the really scary Halloween things. And I remember growing up, I mean, I grew up in a different area than this, but I don't know, the decorations were always very cute, and I am kind of scared by some of the decorations here. People love the 9-10 foot tall skeletons, things that make creepy sounds. Like I'm not for that. I love cutesy stuff like this, but I'm gonna keep this out all year long just because I love cats so much. This little black cat dish. They did have in the Halloween collection tons of different dishes like this. So if I wanted to, there was like a ghost, a pumpkin, things like that. They were all super cute too. So this perfectly fits this little 3.5-inch pot. No drainage. Again, you can put a drainage hole in these if you really want to. I think it just works really well like this. So for now, it's keeping this Hoya Larissa that I'm letting grow out and acclimate a bit, but I do think I will keep using this. Once the plants grow out of these pots, I reuse them obviously, but for now, I think it looks really cute with this in it. And I want to look now, since I found this, for more dishes that I could put plants in. I think this is the first one that I got, but I think it's just really cool. I don't know, you wouldn't expect this to be a plant pot, and this is kind of what inspired this video, is because I found this. I was like, oh my gosh, a plant would look so cute in here. So this was also only $5, so I think that's worth it. The last type of unconventional plant pot I have is something you might have heard of before, and that is going to be turning a candle into a plant pot. So I love candles, but I also love looking at candles that I can just turn into a pot once I'm done burning them. So this is actually one from Trader Joe's. This is one of their summer candles, the citrus green tea. I don't typically use Trader Joe's candles because a lot of times they're small in the little tins, but this one was perfect. It fits a 4-inch pot, or 3.5 perfectly. And I've been doing this for a while, so it has some really good water roots on the bottom. Just a very happy camper in there. I think it looks super cute. It looks really good with this Scindapsus trailing, even though I do really want to get this one on a pole. Maybe I'll have two. Maybe I'll have a trailing one and a climbing one, because this looks like a really good combo. I love finding a good plant and pot combo too. There are some pots that I love. I'm like, do I have a plant that's gonna match this, or is this gonna match my vibe? This one matches really well. So like I said with the tinted glass before, if I take this out, you'll see that it is a little see-through, but because the glass is tinted, it works well. I do have some clear candles that I would love to use, but they're not tinted, so I don't think they would work very well. So I try very hard, because a lot of candles do come in clear glass. I do try very hard to find tinted if possible. I did buy a second one of this candle that I'm gonna burn next summer because it works really well. So, and then sometimes I take the label off, sometimes I don't. It's just, this one looks cute with it on. Maybe the other one I'll take it off, I don't know. But that works really well. I really like the look of it. And then I do have some other tinted candles. I have this one and I have another one like it, and they're close because it is somewhat clear, but I think this one is tinted enough that it just works. This is obviously my reverted Lycans. Makes me so sad. I talked about that in one of my recent videos. It just makes me so sad that it reverted on me. But the pot works. It works as a pot. Again, no drainage. I did get this candle at H-E-B. Surprisingly, a lot of my candles I get at Target, so that is a good place to look for a candle to turn into a pot. But H-E-B, Trader Joe's, any place where you buy a candle, I feel like I'm always on the hunt now. I'm always like, oh, can I get a dual purpose out of this? Because candles can be expensive. I feel like even cheap candles nowadays are $10 to $15. So this is a good way to recycle it. It's a good way to get your money's worth and just being able to repurpose it into something cool. And I think a lot of these make really good planters. I mean, this is such a unique color, unique shade. It's a very matte finish on the candle. So I don't have anything else like this, and it's gonna be a very unique pot in my collection. So those are my favorite planters and all the places where I like to buy them. If you know of any good place to get planters or any place to get cool candles to turn into planters, let me know in the comments below. I would love to find new places to get them, especially affordable ones, because they add up quickly. You think, oh, I can get one $8 pot, one $10 pot. You get 5 $10 pots, and now you've spent 50 bucks. So it's hard to find affordable ones. So I'm just looking anywhere I can, but I'm really liking the little planter collection that I'm growing. I think plant pots are actually so cool, and we just don't talk about them enough. But yeah, I'm really getting into it this year. I think it's also a way to curb spending on plants. I need to focus on taking care of the plants that I have sometimes before buying new ones, and this is a good way to do it. It's like styling your plants in a fun way. So if you like this video, make sure to give Saffron and I here a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.